Oh, yay for us. Okay, anyway, continue with the gas. That's the first time that's ever happened. I don't want to exit a vast, though, just in case I get a virus. Bad internets. Anyway, 9 o'clock position looks like it's being contained. Gretorp trying to hold with inferior production. It looks like Horror knows it, and he's starting to press on that front door. He managed to take that bunker down. Yeah, this is really a skeleton contain. Finally moving in with some siege tanks to at least cap that 9 o'clock. Also transferring a lot of SCVs to that location. But still, 3 bases versus 2, and specifically 2 gas that have been winding for quite some time. It looks like switching into 3 machine shops off the 3 factories. And there's that starport, and this is really going to be the critical difference. That starport, that control tower, is going to be all the difference in the world. And really, I think if Gretorp's going to hold it, what he needs to do is he needs to get lucky with some wraiths. And still some vultures wandering out in the field with those mines planted, able to stop a lot of this production. It looks like he did produce a wraith in anticipation. Really, this is going to be the big difference in the field, is how well Gretorp uses a single wraith to engage any troops that might be kind of flooding out in the field. And if Horror mixes in a Goliath or two, wow, he's actually got a sizable army already. If he mixes in a Goliath too, it's going to be devastating. Right now, supply counts already, you can see that 3rd base producing that 3rd gas already just being extremely significant. Siege tank on siege tank, I think, might see, yeah, 1 siege tank breaking position here. But right now, 66 supply off a contain versus 120 supply on a contain otherwise. And Gretorp trying to play economic catch-up now. He's trying to play it a little bit, this is extremely greedy, I would say. He's moving some SCVs out in the field, wants to try to get some more command centers up to try to catch up. I think his best bet would have again just been going for another kind of big push to all directions. This is all Horror cares about. You can see he's not even really worrying about the mineral saturation here. Otherwise, just wants to get that gas pumping. And I'm just waiting for that first dropship to be produced, because I think that's when we're going to see the significant swing in the game. Already pushing out. I suppose it actually doesn't make that much a difference, just because we're seeing an overwhelming attack force on the front door, but really that dropship caps it. Losing a ton of vultures there to his own mine, though. Again, kind of the clutter problem, and a couple siege tanks to the north, but Horror still able to press right through it. The contain holds, actually, through, I would say, what was just a bad mine being planted out in the field. I think those vultures, if they just didn't siege it, would have been fine. But the critically here, the thing for Gretorp is he can't replenish his forces as quickly as Horror can. You can see all of these factories running, where on the opposite side we're still at 2 factories and a single starport otherwise. Even though the 9 o'clock base has been running. Again, I think he's trying to save up and he's planting turrets to the north for whatever reason, maybe trying to catch a dropship out of position. The vultures continuing to flood through, once again planting the mines that should be able to take out both those siege tanks once they... oh, very nice micro on Gretorp's part, actually, to save its siege tanks. A Great, kind of showing his hand, moving out to the forward position. So he's stemming the tide here, but the question is for how long. That Goliath easily going to be able to take out that Wraith. I know there's a dropship somewhere out in the field here. I'm kind of curious what direction it's going to decide to take its initiative. There's the 2 dropships actually at the forward position. Let's see if they even bother to load up. He's actually got map control now. Gretorp's still trying to maintain a kind of a staggered contain in the back, and he's still way behind supply to do so. And these dropships against no turrets now in the forward position, it's just not going to happen. Engineering bay to block off the 6 o'clock. Not quite sure the logic behind that. 3 bases. Okay, it looks like he's going to actually finish the engineering bay for whatever reason. But Gretorp really in a losing battle, and he's doing whatever he can just to kind of hold on. It almost feels like the grip off the side of the cliff right now. Just economically getting pummeled. Still, he hasn't breached 60 supply for quite some time now. Just been in a devastating position altogether. It looks like he's at least got some decent saturation here at the 9 o'clock, so he's keeping up in minerals, but he's just been so far behind on gas, and I still don't see him. He's finally got a 3rd factory up. He does have the 3 machine shops, so maybe he'll be able to keep up in tank production, but he's, again, not going to be able to keep up in dropship production. He's definitely not going to be able to keep up in vulture production. It looks like siege tanks preventing additional containment from the north. The Gretorp getting really greedy with this. He's going to try to do you can even see the line here. He's going for a full map contain now. And it's not going to happen against an attack force of this size that should press out momentarily. As long as the vultures maintain that front door, this is still a skeleton attack force. I still think that Horror, if he plays it right, can just attack move, run in the vultures first, bring in the cannon second. The only thing that's really saved Gretorp is just the map features, because it's such a difficulty moving across the middle of this map, and also the fact that Horror really hasn't used those dropships up this stage. But yeah, now here comes the attack move, running forward, able to take out siege tanks in forward forward position. This containment completely breached now. Not sure why those siege tanks took out that turret first rather than the tank. I thought the tanks actually played higher priority than turrets, but playing a little bit well here. 3 tanks just attack moving across the edge. I expected GG in not too long from Gretorp. He's still trying to hold on with just measly supply, and he's still actually bringing in some more siege tanks to try to maintain this defensive contain along that back corner, but it's still not happening. Maintaining a little bit here and there, but it just feels like he's losing the grip more and more. It's kind of like that losing game of tug-of-war, and he's getting kind of pulled over the mud pit right now. Still running at 3 bases versus 2. Still pretty far behind. He's trying to get another factory and another machine shop down, and I don't know that he can really maintain that gas-wise. The Vulture's starting to meander across the field to kind of open this up with the siege tanks to follow. Once again, Hor actually not microing this very well here, but still it's not going to matter just because he has such a significantly larger amount of tanks, and he needs to be actually careful that he doesn't expend too much of this. Gretorp might be able to get a significant win here, move those siege tanks in. Doesn't look like he's going to have the micromanagement to do it, though. Still going to win the fight despite the fact that he's behind on weapons upgrades. I'm surprised this match hasn't actually finished, and it looks like the plan here is just to keep Gretorp in the contain maneuver, keep him thinking that he's holding this back, and in the meantime get a bunch of dropships and just do a doom drop on the main for Hor. I'm not sure why he isn't just doing that now, though, because there's no protection here across. You can even see no protection across that backfield. I'm not seeing any turrets there at that location. Anything. It looks like some SCVs coming off the line to transfer to the 9 o'clock. Honestly, the SCVs could probably walk up right to the north. It looks like the siege tanks were already doing so to take a lot of these turrets up. Command center actually getting hit, so it looks like these turrets to the north actually are going to play a significant role here. There's a single, I'm not sure why that mine hasn't triggered yet, so just pathing. It's kind of funny. Siege tanks moving to the forward position. He has managed to isolate and take that 6 o'clock. The command center getting taken out to the north here. The siege tank's going to move up to clear, so a small victory there for Gretorp, but Gretorp still running at 2 bases, still hasn't bothered taking his mineral only. Still hasn't been able to take anything else. I think Hor is at the point now where he's thinking, well, I've got so much working for me, why should I bother here? I'll just keep building stuff and keep taking expansions and not really worry about it. Gretorp is, in the meantime, again, just trying to play that clinging on sort of game. Level 2 weapons now up for Hor. Significant upgrade advantage, significant production advantage, significant air advantage, which he really hasn't capitalized on at this stage. And Gretorp still trying to move these siege tanks off the 3 machine shops. Yeah, again, you can see he really can't. It looks like he's trying to produce out of that 4th factory. He is getting delayed, but he's really maxing out. He's really kind of pressing his production here. Still not taking an additional base. Looks like he is. A couple siege tanks to the north getting taken out by those vultures on the corner. Siege tanks trying to move to the north to try to get an additional expansion. He's going to need to comsat to take care of those mines, and Hor will know when those expansions are starting to go up, specifically to take that gas, and that might be his trigger point, is thinking, okay, as soon as he tries to take another base, I know he can't defend. Right now he can't defend, though. He's only got 4 siege tanks to the northern position. His southern lane is completely breached. Right now, I'm not sure why Hor isn't just running in, attacking, kind of ending it, honestly. He's got a lot of resources over Gretorp. Gretorp's running in a huge deficit. Really isn't in a position to take another base, really needs to take another base. His main looking really thin here, as you can see. So technically he's running off 1 base versus 2, and a 3rd coming shortly. Looks like at the mineral only rather than elsewhere. He doesn't have a contain. It's completely devastated. And we still have these dropships just kind of hovering out here. They're just kind of chilling, talking to each other, being like, yep, it'd be really cool if we were used, and that would probably be it in the match, but I guess we're not going to see any action here. Just going to continue on the ground, which is actually kind of devastating. I got to say, that's a big mistake on Hor's part, because that's a lot of supply and a lot of gas wasted for something he's not really going to use, and that is pretty significant in StarCraft. If you're going to build something, you better be using it, particularly as Terran with dropships, because that's a lot of supply not going into siege tanks and things otherwise. But it looks like Gretorp is just going to GG it. He knows he wasn't going to be able to press that advantage, so Hor not going to need to use the dropships, not going to need to attack. I guess he really didn't need to use them ultimately either direction, but yeah, just running out of resources, wasn't able to maintain the contain. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.